Welcome back to the Dominator, folks. I'm your host, Billy Muzio. With me tonight is the Podfather, a.k.a. Matt Kelly. We are back for the final Sunday Dominator of the season, and we are doing, of course, another FFPC live draft. Tonight, we're drafting a Fantasy Pros Championship draft. It is a $350 buy-in league. We've already got rounds 1 and 2 in the books. How are we feeling tonight, Matt?
I'm feeling great, man. I love late draft position this year. Not too late, 112 can be challenging in the future rounds when you're having to reach for one of those picks, in end of round 5, end of round 7, end of round 9. It's not great. You lose a little bit of flexibility. You can't take advantage of as much value when you're right on the turn, but 109, 110, 111, those are my favorite picks. We were drafting at the 109. And we are teed up for some zero RB. We played the game of taking a wide receiver and just seeing if the board would let us have Barkley at the beginning of the second round. And it didn't work out. Right, the 204, Barkley was gone. We went A.J. Brown. So the start was Lamb, Brown, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown start. I feel good. I'm feeling great.
Feeling good. It's a little chalky, but with this many drafts, it's hard to get unique in the first 2 picks. Not really necessary. We can start getting unique in rounds 3, 4, and 5. Of all of the drafts they have done, there are 137 teams right now with the CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown build. I mean, it's pretty easy to do from this end of the board. But you got to feel comfortable where we got them both. The 9 hole. A lot of people do this from the 10, even 11, or a 12 hole. And so we'll see who comes back to us in round 3. That's where it separates us. We might be able to get a little bit more unique than another team. Somebody may fall to us in round 3 that shouldn't be there. Last night I was drafting. I got Jahmyr Gibbs at the 4-4, which was pretty sweet.
Hey, see, that's a reasonable place to take Gibbs.
Yeah, he's been kind of going in that early 3rd to mid 3rd, and I came back around and we pushed it, and we got him at the 4-4.
Too early. So after we selected AJ Brown, and went Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, FFPC is tight end premium, then Cooper Kupp, then Chris Olave, then Josh Jacobs. I was surprised to see Cooper Kupp go in the second round. At this point, I'm surprised.
It's kind of where he's been living with the news.
I can't believe it, man. I can't believe people are pushing the button on him. You want to see a specialist? This is going to be one of the worst offenses in the league. This team has one of the worst offensive lines, one of the worst defenses, a quarterback that is, well past the age apex and will be considering retirement in the next couple of years. This feels like one of those years where they just clear everybody out at the end of it, where McVay's gone, Stafford's gone. Like, this is like the last gasp before they do the full and complete tear down rebuild. They could finish last. So I hate it for that reason. I hate it for that reason. And the fact that he's hurt, even when he's healthy, which we don't know when that's going to be. When's his leg going to feel 100%? Week 4, week 5?
A good question. And it begs that's what I was about to ask you. Like, if you knew that you were going to get, let's just say he misses the first 2 weeks, or maybe he misses the first 3 weeks. If you knew that you would get 14 weeks out of Kupp, where would you take him?
I would take him in the first round, but 2 injuries, right? 2 distinct injuries to the hamstring. You have the original strain, which he had to be helped off. He wasn't like hopping around. He had to be helped off the field. Then he aggravates it again. This is a 30-year-old body aggravating it. This is not a 20-year-old body aggravating it. So it's just longer for the muscle fibers to heal, and the probability of re-injury goes up. And then again, what kind of offensive situation, how many touchdowns is this team even going to score? Is he coming back to? I don't like any aspect of this. When you close your eyes and you think about, you just kind of project it into your mind, what the hell is going to happen with this team and Kupp this year? There's very few scenarios where you're like, yeah, I really wish I could go back and take Kupp in the second round. Oh, remember when you could have Kupp in the second round? It's just not plausible that this team is going to launch and there's going to be this windfall of fantasy points for Cooper Kupp this year. It's the classic value trap where you're like, well, he was a value in the late first, so isn't he a value now in the late second? It's just another hamstring strain. Oh, that's
the risk reward factor,
about it. It's the wrong way to think about it, man.
It is, and I agree, but the risk reward factor in tournament teams is where it could pay off, right? We're paying against 20,000 individuals inside of this tournament. And if we do get the upper echelon of production out of him again, then people are going to regret passing on him in the second or third round picks. Prior to the news, I was the only Cooper Kupp and Stephon Diggs team in the tournament with my draft partner, Dave Hubbard. When we had the Stephon Diggs uncertainty in Buffalo and he was slipping in drafts.
Yes.
We got that small window where we got we got Cooper Kupp at like the 108, and then Diggs fell back to us in round 2. And for a while, it was the only team. I haven't checked this week, but I bet there's a few more now in the tournament. And now I'm not feeling as good about it as I once was because of course, the uncertainty with Kupp's injury and not to mention everything you just said about the rest of the offense. So, but there does come to a point where we are in tournament play and it does become enticing to select him for the potential upside. People had the same maybe negative outlook with Saquon Barkley in the contract news. There was times where he was falling into round 3. Right. The teams that capitalized on that draft capital at that point now are sitting pretty good, where they potentially have 2, 3 top 12, 13 picks, 14 picks, depending upon who they took. And so it's a complicated situation. But for me, when I'm doing these drafts, sometimes the risk is worth the juice to squeeze for the reward. And I typically will go that way, but I'm probably not pulling the trigger anywhere in that 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4, 2-5 spot. I think that 2-6 through 2-12 becomes a real conversation. And of course, if he falls in the third, I'm probably pretty comfortable taking him.
I'm not drafting him. Put him on your do not draft list. I like to just go to the week 1 schedule and look at a bunch of these game totals and remind myself what the hell is going to happen this year. See, that's a nice exercise, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, what's up with this game total? Arizona, right? Their implied points are what? It's like, yeah, they're not going to score anything, man. They play the Commanders. They're at Washington. The game total is 38. There's not going to be fantasy points scored in that game, dude. And when you look at the Rams schedule and the fantasy playoffs,
it's one of my favorite defenses to stack week 1 or take week 1.
What do you think you're going to? You got at the Ravens week 14. Then they got the Commanders at home. That's going to be a game total under 40. You can guarantee that. The Saints, that's not going to be a high game total at home. And then they're at the Giants. That's not going to be a high scoring game either. So where are the shootouts? Where are the spike weeks? I don't see it here. I could see New Orleans at home. I could see a spike week from Kupp that week. Otherwise, very difficult to imagine.
Well, I was hoping Kian now would make it to us. He did not. I kind of like leaning into the 0 RB that we got going right now. Yeah. There's Deebo Samuel. We could take Christian Watson. We could push up, who's been going at the end of the 3rd round lately. We could take an elite.
Just not overthink this and go Deebo Samuel?
Yes. Okay. I'm fine with that. You don't got to twist my arm with red and gold, Matt.
I mean, geez. I mean, it's Deebo Samuel. What? He's still in his prime. I know he's has a greater injury risk than other receivers, but like we have suspected from this spot, and with Barkley off the board before our second pick, we're going to end up going 0 RB. Let's just lean into that. That would be the move. Are you more or less exposed to Deebo Samuel?
I'm more exposed than best ball, less exposed than redraft.
Okay.
But I do have my fair share of Deebo. I'm floating about 16-17% across my portfolio.
That's a good percentage. I like it. I like him in seasonal leagues too, because if he does miss time, if Deebo misses time, it'll be something like a broken wrist, something like that. That's the kind of injury he has, a shoulder injury.
Rib injury.
Yeah, it's going to be broken rib, something like that, where you know he's going to be out for 2 weeks. You don't start him. But when he's healthy, you start this man. With Brock Purdy, you start this man. This is a great place to get Deebo. I'm not a big Deebo fan, but I love him here. That's great.
You know what I love? We're a year later, and this joke is still going on streams. My buddy Deshanes loves Deebo. Intrigued.
Deshanes!
Oh, man.
So we could still get Watson on the way back around. That's the beauty of going Deebo there. You can still get Watson.
Yeah, he has been going pretty consistently, like between the 310 and like the 4.2, 4.3.
Mm-hmm.
So like if he makes it back, it's a smash pick for me, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't even, please don't even speak his name into existence right now. Someone's going to take him.
Mm-hmm. So we are live, right? We're live.
We are live. We're in Snipe City right now.
So there's probably at least one person in this draft room that knows what we're going to do.
Yeah, at least one.
They're listening in.
Yeah, they're getting ready to just snipe you from a mountaintop.
Now I see Lamar Jackson there. Any temptation to go Lamar Jackson?
It is very tempting to go Lamar Jackson. Yeah, we can't be blocked now, so we either get Lamar or we get Watson.
Yeah, I was thinking either. What? Thank you. We had great minds, man. I love what it's also another reason I liked Lamb in the first round is that we can then easily stack in with Dak Prescott. There's not a big zeal for Dak Prescott out there, no problem. And we got him.
And they're both here. So I prefer taking Christian Watson here, and then we can attack the quarterback position later.
Yeah. Wow. That's a good start of receivers to go Lamb, Brown, Samuel, Christian Watson. I'm a fan.
I'm liking this build right now.
And the reason why Christian Watson's moving up is because Jordan Love has looked better than expected in preseason. That's it. That's the reason. And he's been targeting Watson quite a bit. Now look at Kenneth Walker. Name the starter. Hasn't played at all. Right? It's been all about Zach.
Do we expect anything else?
Toughness.
We've been telling people it's always going to be Kenneth Walker.
I know, right? I was like, that was news though, Billy. It necessitated a news item.
No way.
On RotoWire. Oh, Kenneth Walker, name the starter. I'm like, oh, and there was another option.
Did you hear about JFK? Come on, people.
What? I mean, he's the Doak Walker Award winner. I mean, this was the best running back in college. This guy was prolific last year. He went over 1,000 yards, already broke out. He's their workhorse. I'm sure he looks into Zach Charbonnet's eyes and just laughs at the hope, like the desperate hope that one day this backfield could be mine. And then Kenneth Walker's evil laugh.
Kenneth Walker's just sitting on the sideline watching Zach Charbonnet run straight upright and know he's about to get clobbered and just laughing on the sideline.
But hey, man, we have those really hard runs. He put his shoulder into some guys in preseason. He's tough, right? He caught a bunch of dump offs in college. I don't know. Oh, I need to be impressed. So Mike Williams now falling out of the 4th round into the 5th round. Is there an explanation for that? What's your read on that?
Mike Williams climbed into the 4th round. There was times where you could get Mike Williams in the 6 rounds in drafts, 7 rounds in drafts. And then with all the news about him potentially, running out of the slot more, he climbed into the 4th round. So
right.
he's been kind of settling in I'd say he gets reached on and gets taken at the end of the 4th now, but he's settled and pretty much locked in around 5. And he goes anywhere from the beginning of round 5 to the middle of round 5. You're lucky now you get him where we are in round 5. But
what kind of zero RB build are we talking about here? Are we going extreme zero RB? Are we thinking about a receiver next, or are we done for a while?
So you could start 2 receivers in this format, but there are 2 flex. So right now we have our flex and our receiver spots filled. I'm okay going 1 more. And then we could look at maybe start taking a look at what falls to us, but there's a lot of receivers in this format. There's a lot of running backs in this next few rounds that I really like. So I think we just remain flexible, see what the board gives us, and then make our decision from there.
Oh, we fixed it. We fixed it, Billy. DeAndre Hopkins just goes in the 4th round, as he should.
Yeah, I like Hopkins more than most.
We do. We're very bullish on Hopkins.
Yeah, you look at this offense is expected to have a pretty low total pass attempts, but it's going to be funneled through Hopkins. We're talking about 26 to 28%, probably on a modest range, upwards of 30%, if the cards fall right for him. And then you have Treylon Burks, who's probably going to see anywhere from 22 to 23%, maybe a little bit more. And then you have Chigo, who's probably going to see anywhere from 16 to 18%, maybe a little more. but that still leaves targets for other individuals as well as running backs, and there's just not a lot of mouths to feed in this offense. There's no other really NFL caliber wide receiver on the team outside of Treylon Burks and DeAndre Hopkins. And I know they're probably going to pass for low 500s if they even hit 500 attempts, but it's when you have this consolidated of a target tree, it makes it a lot more appetizing to select them.
Yeah, I think it's interesting in that the Titans are similar to the Rams. They're like the AFC's version of the Rams in that, Tannehill is the Stafford, and this was a team that was like the number 1 seed in the AFC, and it's just everything is falling apart. Everything is crumbling. They've got these post-apex skill position players, and Hopkins is the Kupp of the AFC, essentially. And so that's my whole thing. Why draft Cooper Kupp in the second round when you can have DeAndre Hopkins? Similar situation, also an elite talent. He takes care of his body in an impeccable way. He's gonna have another productive season. No signs of efficiency slowdowns last year. So you were dead right to be bullish as you were all off season on DeAndre Hopkins. Javonte Williams goes off the board, so that's a tempting pick off the board. But they're giving us a bunch of receiver options.
RB19 though, Javonte, really? Like we've only had 2 running backs in history who have ever finished as RB20 or better coming off an ACL injury.
Oh,
not only did he have an ACL tear, he had a PCL tear and an LCL tear. No running back has done all 3.
Oh,
not good statistics, at least in the injury.
Yeah, well, but the good thing is they took him around before we would even consider him. So bye-bye Javonte Williams. Lots of receiver options, right? You got Deontay Johnson. You want targets? We get Deontay Johnson. Great. And then we also have a Brandon Ayuk, right? So we could have a mega 49er stack if we want that. You get Tyler Lockett, right? Tyler Lockett's the one whose ADP is surging. You get George Pickens. That's the max upside option. But
you missed the guy's name that has the largest.
I know. Well, I did because I'm coming back to that. See, I don't want to be gaslit by ADP. Okay. I don't care that a 4th round receiver is going 5th and 6th round. I do not care if it comes to us and we have the option of getting another elite top 10 producer in fantasy football at the position. We need to take Chris Godwin.
I like Godwin, but there's one more receiver out there that I know that you're not as bullish on as I am, but when we talk about consolidated targets, he has seen a near 30% target share already in his career. He's staring at us right now, Matt.
Are we talking about Drake London?
Yes.
Oh God. Can I go back to the week 1 lines? Panthers at Falcons. The game total.
You know the funny thing about
where are all these fantasy points going to come from?
You know the funny thing about fantasy football though is that we do have a 17-week season outside of the week 1 slates.
I prefer Godwin over London, but I will let you make the pick. We could also go a different direction. We also go Justin
I was
Fields.
going to say we could settle on Deontay Johnson because we both like Deontay Johnson.
What about Justin Fields?
We could go Justin Fields.
That's an option. We could go Rachaad White. Do you think Rachaad White will make it back to us?
Rachaad White should make it back to us. Look how green the board is to the right.
Okay, we're going to go. That's a great call. So we're going to go Rachaad White. So we can go receiver. We'll flip a coin, right? You got Drake London or Chris Godwin. Heads. I got a corner here. Heads, it's Drake London. Tails, it's Godwin.
Is it double-sided? Let me see both sides of the coin. Let me see it. Okay, flip it. Podfather out here throwing
tails.
Drake London.
Tails. Chris Godwin.
You said Drake London?
No, I said heads. Drake London. Tail. If you really want Drake London, go ahead and take him.
I do want Drake London.
Take him then. Take him then. You're driving. Take him. Take him.
Yes.
Take him. Should have gone Godwin. Damn it.
Well, how about this? If Godwin comes back, we go 0 rubber.
6 receivers in a row. You sicko. Is that possible? If they rob us of Rachaad White, we might have to.
If Rachaad White doesn't make it back, and if Justin Fields doesn't make it back, then we'll take.
Whoa! Trevor Lawrence just went off the board before Justin Fields. That's interesting.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
That's interesting.
I think Lawrence
wow.
has.
I'm looking at the.
Wow, my God! Look at
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs to start.
We should have selected. Yeah.
I mean, that's unlikely, really.
We got gaslit by ADP. We let the ADP.
No, the problem is that White goes in the
Cloud our
6th round a
judgment.
lot of the time. Like he doesn't ever go here.
Are we gonna build around David Montgomery then?
I'm totally fine building around David Montgomery.
I think we can build around David Montgomery. Do we wait though, or do we have to take him here?
No, I think we take him here.
I think we got to take him here. The thing is, I think in hindsight, knowing we could get Lockett or Pickens here, probably there goes Godwin. I think we should have gone, if we'd known, we would have gone White, and then we could have had another receiver with incredible upside, especially like spike week upside with Pickens or Lockett. They play each other in the fantasy Super Bowl also, which is cool. Wish we could stack them. But we are going to go David Montgomery because he's got, 15 to 20 touchdowns in him this year. Oh, baby.
That's definitely a high projection, but I love the upside.
No, I'm saying that's what he could do.
Yeah.
10 touchdowns is actually what he probably will do.
Yeah, it's, man, some of the lines out there are just egregious in my opinion in terms of what they haven't projected for. There you go. He made it. Beautiful. I am absolutely in love with David Montgomery this year, which is so weird because I've never really liked him when he was on Chicago. But now that he's on the Lions with this offensive line and the lack of weapons in the receiving game, it's going to be pretty clearly Montgomery and the Gibbs show on the ground. And they're probably going to utilize them both in the air because of lack of weapons. So in drafts that I don't walk away with Amon-Ra St. Brown, I love to try to target David Montgomery.
When do you want to select Dak Prescott? Should we be planning on this yet, or when do we start talking about this?
He usually goes in that 9th, anywhere from the 9th to the 11th. So if you really want him, we let's see how quarterbacks fall in this draft. Just because it's just depends upon the draft room that you're in. So we have to just analyze what's happening here and read our room. But I think we start discussing it probably in round 9.
Okay. At what point do we consider a tight end?
That's the $1 million question this year. So we could look at attacking it here in the 9th and 10th round as well. There's a lot of tight ends that go in that area. There's Dalton Kincaid. There's Schultz. There's
no 7th round, man. 7th round. Shouldn't we be considering Freiermuth and Ingram in the 7th round or not?
The problem is that these guys are going to finish in they all have the same outcome to me as the tight ends that are going a round or 2 rounds later. The point differential and the projections are so close that it's I'd rather just hit another running back and lock in a stud that I know is going to see significant playing time and probably see 200 carries or 50 targets depending upon the running back, and then I'd come back around and get somebody who's technically in the tier down at the tight end position, but has just as much upside to finish in that same tier. Every year we see it. Every single year we see a tight end who outperforms expectations. Look at Tyler Higbee, for instance. We just talked about how bad this offense is going to be, but they still have to throw the ball.
They are. And the big winner is Tyler Higbee from this whole mess.
Yeah, if Cooper Kupp's
the big winner
is
Tyler Higbee. I know that people say Van Jefferson, and Van Jefferson has a limited ceiling. Higbee, there's another guy.
100 targets now.
Right? 8 touchdowns when they're in the red zone and they get bottled up, they try to run Akers, can't go anywhere. Who are they going to throw to? Higbee.
Look at George Kittle fall in this draft.
I know. Well, George Kittle, we're going to draft Kittle if he's there?
Oh, absolutely. There's no way, chance in hell he makes it back.
He's not going to make it, but he's got the Q tag next to him. That's always helpful. We're not considering a McLaurin, a Judy, right? No, right?
Turf toe Terry, is that what you meant?
Turf toe. Well, we have 5 receivers, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on who's there. I don't want to get too far ahead of it because we could miss 5 guys in here. They all 5 could go.
There's not a lot of running back options. There's Dalvin Cook.
There's running backs kind of got sucked up this round. The guy at the 11 hole with 5 of them didn't really help the cause, but there's still a lot of receivers. I mean, there's still some sneaky running backs, but I think the position is probably going to be a tight end with the way the board's falling because there's There is George Kittle still there, but I doubt he's there. But we have Freiermuth, like you mentioned. There's Evan Ingram. There's David Njoku, Dalton Kincaid. There's a lot of guys. We don't necessarily need receiver, but I wouldn't mind taking another one if that's the pick. I mean,
I like bad luck though. It's bad luck that we decided to go 0 RB in the most RB heavy draft room I've ever seen. This is bad luck.
Look at the guys in the 11 and 12 hole. There's 9 running backs between the two of them through 6
what are
rounds.
they doing? Okay. I mean, they're making life hard on us. Dalvin Cook continues to be available.
Psycho build out of the 11 hole.
Look at Higbee moving up. Higbee's in a top 100 pick.
Did he just get taken?
No, he's going to be, though. I'm looking at the ADP board. What about Kincaid versus Higbee at this point? That's an argument.
Sorry, Theo. I'd take Kincaid. I mean, I would take Higbee, and I'd pass on Kincaid.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about possibly 100 targets now.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
I don't think Kincaid sniffs 100.
I think Cam Akers is hurt by this too. This whole, just the offense suffering and Cooper Kupp being injured, that hurts Cam Akers also. It hurts everybody but Higbee. The target conservation, if it's going to help anybody, it's going to be Higbee and Jefferson, and Higbee's the one that I think could benefit most.
I mean, you could take both. You could just double tap it over here on at the like 7-8 turn. It'd be a reach on Kincaid though. Kincaid you can get in the round 9.
I'm seeing Freiermuth.
You could take Freiermuth.
Freiermuth at the 709, and then you could also stack him with Pickett. It's interesting.
I like Pickett this year too.
I like the Pickett Freiermuth stacks. If our 2 quarterbacks are Dak and Pickett, aren't we feeling good about that?
I think we go naked quarterback, so we pick one.
Just one. Okay.
Just one.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Give us a little bit more, and then we could take the free look upside. So we look at the Kansas City and Detroit game, and we get the free look. So for everyone here who's unfamiliar with it, Thursday night game, week 1, high stakes, you have the ability to swap your players in and out after the Thursday night game, even if they were already in your lineup or out of your lineup. And because there's drafts through the weekend, it keeps the field neutral and everybody on the same playing field. And so if, let's just say that you drafted Marvin Jones and he puts up a 20 burger and he's on your bench, you can put him into your lineup, Matt, after the fact.
Love it. That's like really cool.
Yeah, so it's that free look is a big advantage, and so I typically like to get a couple free look guys that are free, and then if they don't pan out on Thursday, you just drop them Sunday morning and pick up somebody else.
Are you trying to say you want Goff?
We could take Goff.
I mean, is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm just saying like we'll probably want to look at.
We've got Montgomery,
Josh Reynolds late. We could look at Marvin Jones late. We could look at.
You're going way out there. Okay, okay, cool. Maybe Sky Moore. I thought.
Talking about Riley Patterson, the kicker, right? Get a free kicker look.
Okay, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, just little tiny edges.
I don't want to say anything, but we're a couple picks to go before we pick.
Don't even mention his name. Don't do it. You thought about it. There he went.
Yeah, I thought about it. George Kittle finally off the board. My God, he lasted a long time. It's interesting that in the FFPC that Evan Ingram goes a little bit before Pat Freiermuth. That's weird. I don't get it.
So Jonathan Taylor's still on the board. Where would you ever consider drafting him at this point?
Oh, man. Yeah, we are a 0 RB team, aren't we?
Yep.
This would be the team to get JT.
I mean, I'm not sure he plays, but if he does play, that's where you look at and say it could be a tournament winner when you have a 0 RB team. These rounds, you give a lot of bust players, right? Think about it this way with Jonathan Taylor, right? McLaurin, he's on a terrible team. He's already injured. It could be a lost season, right? Gabe Davis, everybody knows he's inefficient, but the moon and the stars are aligning for him. Khalil Herbert's off the board. Who is Khalil Herbert? I don't even know. The starter.
Right? He's a starter. That's what we know. He's got some explosiveness. Great. We'll see what happens. James Conner. Will they even score a touchdown this year? Will Kyler Murray even play this year? I don't know. Cam Akers off the board. What is Cam Akers this year with the worst offensive line and the lowest scoring offense other than Arizona? but they also play Arizona twice. It's just going to be puke, right? Puke, puke, puke. Miles Sanders, that's not an offense you want exposure to. So I'm looking at a lot of possible busts. Alvin Kamara's off the board. He's not going to play for like at least, what is it?
3 weeks.
Three, right? 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
So he's missing 3 games. So we're already, once you get past Rachaad White, Chris Godwin, and the 5th round, once you get into the 6th round, other than a David Montgomery and a Dallas Goedert, it's a bunch of guys that are a little more of there goes Jonathan Taylor. Okay.
He saved us from ourselves, probably.
I wanted to draft.
You wanted to gamble on it?
The best player available, according to ADP right now, is actually Jahan Dotson.
I love Jahan Dotson this year.
I do not.
Do you, schedule wise or just the player?
I just don't think that he's demonstrated the efficiency or the ability to command targets like Drake London has.
He was good last year.
He doesn't have the upside. I know he was good, but he's going to have some regression from touchdowns. He's on a bad team that, yes, they're going to be better, right? With Sam Howell, I understand they're going to take a step forward, but it's still Washington. I'm still looking at the game totals. It's pukey. So, and I know Terry McLaurin has a toe, but he could actually play.
Yeah.
Right. The toe injury may not even rob him of any games at all. One probably, but the toe is much better than a high ankle sprain. So I'm absolutely out on Dotson at a inside the top 70 players. That's where he's headed. It's crazy.
So 2 tight ends are here that we've discussed. Any running backs that really?
Only Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, that's the only one too. He's gonna be splitting time down the stretch.
You don't like him.
It's not that I don't like him. It's just we know that he's going to be hot at the beginning of the year, and then he could tamper off when you need him most down the stretch. But with this build, it might be the back I lean.
I don't like that you're not excited about him. Brandon Cooks is here. Zay Flowers is here, but also these tight ends are here.
Yeah, how about we go? We both like Freiermuth. Why don't we go Freiermuth?
I think we go Freiermuth. We give ourselves a stacking option. We're not locked into Dak as much that way.
Yeah, we could push quarterback and take a Pickens late. And then on the way back, if Cook is there, the right side of the board is green heavy. We said this last time, and they both went running back. But we'll see what they do this time. I doubt they both go running back again. We'll probably get him on the way back.
I think we can get Dalvin Cook because, yeah, you're right. All these guys on the turn,
they have to start.
They pounded running back early. It's. I could see them just wanting to go Dalvin Cook, like salivating over Dalvin Cook because they clearly love running back so much, and just being like, my build, I can't do it.
One more to go. So now we beg the question: is do we go Dalvin like we just talked about, or do we push another tight end up and go Higbee, go double tight end, and then we just paint this board green at the end of the draft? We're not starting the tight end though. That's the only problem. Is we already have our flex spots filled. We have two receivers. We actually can have a nightmare pick every week between Drake London and Christian Watson or whatever else our last flex spot's going to be. So it's actually already a nightmare decision. So that's a bad idea. We're going Dalvin Cook here.
I think we just go Dalvin Cook if he's available.
Yeah, I think we take him. That's fine. I'm not crazy about him this year, but right here I'm fine.
The Jets brought him in to be their starter.
Yeah.
They're going for it this year. Aaron Rodgers goes into the facility and he looks around. He's like, just one trophy? I think you guys need to add another Lombardi trophy to this. And it's like, whoa, buddy. Didn't he only win one in Green Bay total?
I think you're right. I mean,
he comes into the facility and he's all, super humble because he's coming back from, a yoga retreat. And he's like, yeah, we should maybe we should try to double the number of trophies in the lobby. I think that'd be a good idea. And it's like, hey, buddy, you're not. It's not like you come from a place of like multiple Lombardi trophies. You won one the whole time. You're supposed to be the best quarterback ever or the most talented thrower of footballs of all time. And yet you won championship. Tom Brady's over. He doesn't even have enough fingers on his hand. Get out of here, man.
A lot of that's coaching, though. I mean, the talent. Shame on the Packers for not having more. I think it wasn't just Rodgers. That was 100% McCarthy. Like McCarthy squandered their window so badly.
I don't I'm not fighting you on this, right? And by the way, the Hard Knocks, it's as good as ever. It's unbelievable. Liev Schreiber actually makes an appearance. Spoiler alert. Actually helicopters in to practice.
Dude, I haven't even watched Hard Knocks this year. Is it good?
It's so good. Yeah,
I
the
need
voice
to
of
watch
God. They
it.
have the best narrator ever for any production.
Should I just binge watch it?
It's amazing. My daughter loves it. So it's like we after this, we're going to watch Hard Knocks. That's what we're going to do tonight as a family.
I should
We
go tell my wife that we're
binging
watching
Hard Knocks.
I'm gonna tell my wife that we're watching reality TV, and I'm gonna put on Hard Knocks.
Yes.
I'm just gonna flip a curveball on her.
We just saw Jackson Smith and Jigba go off the board. That is an interesting pick because I think he's probably going to now. I expected him to miss through the bye, but all this positive news not going on the PUP IR. I just think that
that's where I'd be comfortable taking him. But
I think that picking him here makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of upside there.
You see that little wide receiver number there in the bottom right hand corner? What does that say? Wide receiver 41.
That's where you want to take him.
That's where you take him. Theo, if you're listening, that's where he belongs because people were drafting him as wide receiver 30, 31, 32, 33 early in drafts. They were taking him ahead of Lockett, taking him ahead of Mike Evans, Gabe Davis, George Pickens. Like, there was just not a lot of room for potential upside at that point. Like, I get that he's an exceptional talent, a much more better dynasty play, in my opinion, than a redraft play for this year. And he has the upside, but to take him as a top 30 receiver, a top 32, 33 receiver, just didn't give you a lot of wiggle room.
I have another running back that I want to talk to you about.
Don't mention his name.
His name is Jamal Williams. He is going to be the starter. He's going to be the bell cow in week 1 and week 2, and who knows for how long. And Tennessee's run defense is not going to be what it was last year. The Saints are favored at home, so it's a home game. Teams run better at home. Jamal Williams is set up to be a smash in week 1.
Probably the first 2 or 3 weeks. But the problem is, too, is they have Taysom Hill, who they always utilize in goal line packages. He's probably going to see anywhere from 12 to 15% of the rushing share. Kendra Miller's still in town, although seems to be recovering. Hurt. Yeah, I know. I was about to say he seems to be always injured so far.
Yeah.
But they still have a lot of different ways to go with this offense. First 3 weeks to get by with Kamara. Kamara comes back in, and now you have Jamal Williams, who's going to be very difficult to even start in your flex with this team.
Okay, we don't have to. We have to make sure we get Gainwell, though.
Oh, I'm all for Gainwell.
So, but Gainwell goes off the board after Dak Prescott.
Yeah, we can get Gainwell in like the 10-11.
Right. I'm thinking we try to get him at the 10-04.
Okay, that works.
I think we reach for him at the 10-04. Then the big question is the 909. What are we doing at the 909? Are we going Dak Prescott? Do you want to push and see if we can just go with Kenny Pickett later? Does that mean we tap we go Kincaid here? You tap a receiver, max upside receiver still here. Sky Moore, sky's the limit for Sky Moore.
There's 3 teams in the draft outside of us who don't have a quarterback. So if we look at the board, there's Deshaun Watson, Tua, Dak is the 3rd, but people are enamored with Anthony Richardson. So I think realistically we have 3 quarterbacks who could be selected ahead of Dak. We got to look at the teams on each side to see if they could stack with anything. The guy on the left looks like he could potentially, so then the 4 hole, he's got DK. He could potentially wait and get Geno. Is there any other picks he could go? Yeah, that looks about it right now. He could push for Carr down the road. The right-hand side has Saquon, Garrett Wilson, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cook. So he could potentially take Dak on the turn with the Brandon Cook stack, but he could also take Daniel Jones and go Daniel Jones and Barkley. How about the guy in the 8 hole? He's got Eckler, Henry, Keenan Allen, Ramondre, Deontay Johnson, Goddard. So he could potentially go with Anthony Richardson with Pittman. So I think we could push it because we only got to worry about these guys unless people start taking a second quarterback.
Good. So then I think it's between Kincaid and Sky Moore right now.
Oh, I would love if Sky Moore made it back, but I don't think he's going to make it back.
I mean, we've got a bunch of picks to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks. Higbee's gone, unfortunately.
Yeah,
they took the decision away from us there. Now it's definitely Kincaid if we go tight end, which then sets us up for that nightmare scenario. What about Raheem Mostert?
Oh man, I'm just not a Mostert fan. The guy's going to break down. He can never carry a full workload.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. There has to be a time where we're going to draft him, or do you want to just try to go A-chain later?
So you could, A-chain's been climbing as well. You could, I think we take in the next 3 picks, we're taking a tight end, a quarterback, and then probably a running back. And then at that point, we're painting this board green. Like we're going to go back up running backs, handcuffs, shooting for maximum upside. The receiving core that we have, we might need one more receiver the rest of this draft. And we could probably get away with not even taking one, but I'd probably feel comfortable with one more. And we could wait late. Like you can get Alec Pierce late, who's going to see 100% of snaps now with just the only kept 4 receivers in the team. There's a lot of receivers that you can get in the 12 or 16 range that have a lot of upside, and we don't even need them with the 5.
I don't think we need them. Our receiving core is so stacked. I think if we don't take Sky Moore here or Elijah Moore, we just consider not drafting another receiver.
I'm just praying Sky Moore makes it back right now. I would love if he made it back to us.
It's very possible because you have Raheem Mostert going off the board. It's not going to happen. You can't. There's just no way. Kadarius Toney went before Sky Moore. Whoa.
Yeah, they just announced. Well, they announced today that Tony's going to play week 1, so this is why Sky is falling.
Oh my God, the sky is falling. The sky is falling.
That's a good podcast name. We'll have to change that.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Oh my God, this is going to happen.
Oh, if he makes it here, we're done at receiver.
Come on.
And then guess what? You also get the free look because it's the Thursday. It's a Thursday game.
Free look.
Yep.
Come on, Colbert. Colbert, don't do it. You want Kincaid. Go Quentin Johnston. Come on. Anyway, Tua. Anybody.
He's deciding if he needs quarterback.
You know you need Tua. Come on,
guy. Don't do it. Every time they drain the clock like this, they take the top guy at the board. Every time.
You think every time?
Every time they do this, they drain it. They take.
What about Anthony Richardson, dude? What about Anthony Richardson? Go Anthony Richardson. If he auto drafts, if he times out in auto drafts, Sky Moore, I'm gonna die.
Well, at least we get Kincaid though, so
he's
we're guaranteed. He's gonna. Oh, he took P. Ryan.
Whoa! Oh my God! With his final Mel White. What?
Nice. That gives us the free look too. So now we know. If Sky doesn't do anything, he just sits on the bench. And if he puts up a touchdown and 70 yards, we put him in he starts.
Anybody is worried about Kadarius Toney. Oh my God. Hilarious.
Matt over here like Chicken Little. The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
I can't believe the sky is falling. All right, I got to lock in Gainwell here. We got to lock in Gainwell.
Yeah. I'm good with Gainwell here.
Dude, I don't want to take a chance.
And then
he's going to go, a few picks out. He's going to probably go with the 10, 11. I'm not going to let ADP ruin my life.
So Gainwell, A-Chain, Dalton Schultz are the 3 I have in the queue for the way back.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, I don't want Dalton Schultz, but yes, to A-Chain and Gainwell, yes. They have the same ADP right now.
Yes. Yeah, it's
and they're both marching, climbing back up.
Yes. If I'm still good pushing quarterback so one of the guys to our left took one. He took Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
So now to our left, there's only one team that doesn't have a quarterback. That's the guy in the 8 hole who could very well take Anthony Richardson with the stack with Michael Pittman. And only one guy to our right doesn't have a quarterback. So I think we can push it till round 11 and see who we get.
Wait, listen, the Pittman team is going to go Anthony Richardson. A spoiler alert. Someone took Romeo Dobbs. Oh my God. Dobbs is off the board. Bye-bye, Dobbs.
I can't draft him anymore after I got the round 14 shares in this tournament. I can't physically do it anymore. I'm out.
You shouldn't be even considering it. He's not good either.
So the only other there he goes. The only other running back I'd consider here with Gainwell and A-Chain was Jaylen Warren, but there he goes. So I think we just lock in Gainwell. We're both high on him.
Lock in our gains, dude. Lock in our gains.
Lock in the gains with the sky falling.
Lock in the gains. Wow, we've got some sexy players.
Yeah.
Normally when I draft with you, we do end up with a few more
moonshots.
No, we usually end up with a few guys that are a little bit on the tired side of things, but we're playing the projections game, and we're We're like, hey, more of like the Dalvin Cook, David Montgomery. But other than David Montgomery, Dalvin Cook, like our stable guys we know are going to be big time producers for us at the beginning of the season at running back. We let our bench running backs percolate. We let them find opportunity as the season goes along. Our Roschon Johnsons and all those types of players, and our A-Chains and all those guys. So I understand that, but there's a lot of sex appeal here. I mean, Deebo Samuel is sexy. He gets hurt a lot, but he's sexy. Christian Watson, a lot upside there. Sky Moore, Drake London, Kenneth Gainwell. There's a lot. We don't typically build rosters that are quite this sexy.
You didn't even mention our
more
first two
like
picks.
Veterans, Brandon Cookses, guys we know are very solid, very good. Taking the value when it comes to us. We only did that a couple times here. We've done some sexy things.
This is what I call a zero rubber team.
Yeah, this is a very sexy squad, my friend. Congratulations. I feel very good about this.
People want a dance party with Gainwell, Matt.
Yeah, we're gonna if Gainwell goes off in week 1, we're getting a dance party. That lock that shit in. Roschon Johnson's another running back we need to consider. Very strongly.
Roschon. Yeah, we're gonna start painting this thing green. We got a quarterback to be selected, and then it's gonna be pretty much green until we take kicker and defense.
Oh man, Chuba Hubbard's ADP has now moved ahead of Darnell Mooney, Jaden Reed. Wow, that's interesting. That is interesting. But there's even guys that involved. I like for later in the season, like Jerome Ford.
I love Jerome Ford this year.
Deon Jackson, where's he going?
Deon's been climbing. He goes in like round 13 now.
All right, so we got to think about Deon Jackson then, right? Or
yeah, he's been named the starter for week 1.
Yeah.
Evan Hull, I think, has a real good chance to take that from him, though. He's way better in pass protection.
Evan Hull is better in pass protection?
Evan Hull looked really good in pass pro. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before Evan Hull takes over. So we could go Evan Hull, actually. Maybe Evan Hull's a better play.
I've been taking Evan Hull over Deon. I think that Deon is the starter. They already announced it week 1, but I think it's only a matter of time until Evan Hull takes over.
Yeah, Evan Hull's still going fairly late.
He's been climbing, though, around 14-ish.
So what is in case of emergency, if we don't even get Pickett, we're going to go Purdy or what?
Yeah, I mean, we could even push and take Love with Christian Watson.
Oh yeah. Oh my. Yeah.
We have the perfect, like, I don't give a fuck about quarterback build because we have Christian Watson, we have Drake London, we have Sky Moore.
Oh, that's right.
We have Pat Freiermuth.
Yes, you go all the way to Ritter.
We go all the way to Ritter, man.
Yes. Yes.
I don't even. Yeah, I'm fine going those guys, but I have a lot more risk tolerance for late quarterbacks than most do.
Oh no, I'm fine with it. Yeah, I'm fine with it. This is the move though. If you have a full late round quarterback strategy, you've got to make sure you're stacking them. There's going to be a bunch of quarterbacks that aren't even drafted, right? Single quarterback league. Make sure you're stacking it with a receiver, please, by God.
Last night I was drafting with Noah Riddell, and we took Love in round 19. So it was 19-9 is where we got him.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed
if Dak makes it back, though, I think Dak's the pick here in round 11.
I would love to get Dak. We have 2 players that I've circled right now on my board, Devon A-Chain and Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah. A-Chain would be a snap pick.
But he's still there.
Yeah.
He's still available.
He's been climbing. There's Algier, too, who's interesting. The right side of the board is so green heavy, though. Like, we could push the position when we get to there and take one on the way back.
There are many people, I feel like, that would say, what are you guys doing? You want sex appeal, and you're not even going to even consider Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
And you would say what to that?
I mean, we do need another running back, so we should.
Burn! Burn. If
your favorite player in the world is on the board still. He's sitting at the top of the ADP chart. You see that? Quentin Johnson.
I am not going to declare victory before there's even an NFL snap taken by any team. But the fact that Quentin Johnston is still out there in the 11th round of a high-stakes lead on the Chargers, a first-round pick by the Chargers where Jordan Addison and Jackson Smith and Jigbar, Zay Flowers, long gone. Marvin Mims just got drafted before Quentin Johnston, as it should be.
I like Marvin Mims.
As Marvin Mims was better. I think I put it on Twitter. I said, hey, who had more receptions, receiving yards, and yards per reception through 3 seasons in the Big 12? Was it Marvin Mims or was it first-round pick Quentin Johnston? Oh, it was Marvin Mims, actually. Marvin Mims is a better player, just a better player, period. It's not even – I can't – Jawan Johnston, Rachaad Bateman. This is amazing. Jerick McKinnon, Juju Smith-Schuster, all going ahead of Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston's going to make it back to us.
Okay, question for the listeners. Where would Quentin Johnston have to fall for the Podfather to draft him? And
he can't. No, we won't. We won't because it conflicts with our build.
It does conflict. But if we didn't have this amazing receiver build, where would you feel comfortable taking him?
Saved by the build. Saved by the build. If it's down to guys with very little to no upside, Jacoby Myers, Darnell Mooney, Alan Lazard, it's that zone. Zay Jones, perfect example. He and Zay Jones are, I think, that's interesting to me, right? Because you have two
around 12-ish,
two AFC offenses, Herbert and you have Trevor Lawrence, similar quarterbacks, right? Similar builds, similar talent. These are the future of the AFC, and the number 3/number 4 receivers on that team are interesting. They're better out of the slot, even though they have size and explosiveness. They're better out of the slot. Zay Jones was a raging bust for many years before he finally got his footing in the league and became productive.
Oh, 2 QB alert. There it is. Two is the first team with a 2 quarterback build. All right, we'll see what this guy does in the 8 hole.
Have you seen Striker? That's Striker 3. Is Striker 3, is he often a 2 quarterback builder? Do you know him? Or
I don't recognize the name.
You don't recognize that username? Okay.
Let me look at the owner list 1 second.
Oh, A-Chain. That dream was never going to happen.
Yeah. No, I don't recognize Striker 3.
And no, 2 was off the board right after Quentin Johnston. Now, the heartbreak was Roschon Johnson going.
Mm-hmm. Roschon and A-Chain back to back.
Roschon A-Chain, that's heartbreaking. That hurt my soul.
Well, I'm hoping that the guy in the 8 hole takes Anthony Richardson and we can take Dak, and then we're done at quarterback.
I mean, how could he not? If he has Pittman, how could he not? I mean, if we had Pittman and we didn't have Lamb, I would be arguing for Richardson.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
For all the reasons I laid out earlier. And the running backs available here are truly, truly disgusting, except Tyjae Spears.
Algier is interesting, too. It's a hedge against Bijan.
I know it's a hedge. Yes, Billy. I know it's a hedge against Bijan, but I don't want to bet against Bijan.
Oh, this guy took Dak. He took 2 quarterbacks, too.
Why? Oh, my God.
All right. And he took Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones?
Do we go? Okay, we could go upside play. Do you want to go upside play and go Anthony Richardson, or do we just push it to the end and grab a Purdy, a Love?
Oh my God!
I think we push it here. Let's
just grab Algier.
Yeah.
Algier's an awesome handcuff.
Yeah, let's go Algier here. That gives us.
Yeah, Algier's a great. It's just Cordarrelle Patterson will have a role. I know he's going to be a satellite back, a gadget guy, but it's going to be Algier in a workhorse role with a great offensive line. Should Bijan miss time? I like it. I like it. We're pushing it. We're taking advantage of this draft room. And I think Tyjae Spears is also electric. And Tyjae Spears is actually a better now this might sound crazy. Tyjae Spears is a better fit for the current Titans offense than Henry.
He's a little more versatile.
And they're going to be losing a lot. They're going to be playing from behind. He's better on passing downs. He's more nimble. There's no running lanes whatsoever. Could be the worst offensive line per Dan Fornick in the NFL. When there's no running lanes, you need that lateral quickness. And that's what Tyjae Spears has. That's his thing. That's not Derrick Henry's thing. Derrick Henry's a downhill runner. So Derrick Henry's a terrible fit for this offense right now. Spears is the perfect fit.
I think we push quarterback again. I think we take Spears here and push quarterback again. I mean, we have 2 guys to our left with 2. The guys in the 1, 2, 3 hole have elite quarterback. They're not taking another quarterback here. They don't need to. And so you really don't have to worry about the 8 hole really taking another quarterback. And even if 8, 5, and 6 take another quarterback, we're still going to get someone we like.
Now, are we just going pure like upside and contingent upside, or are we thinking about like likelihood of player X supplanting the player ahead of him? Like, at what point do we consider Ty Chandler here over Spears?
You can make an argument for either of them here. I'm good either way. I love Chandler. I also really like Spears. I like Spears' tape a lot this year, but Chandler has legit league-winning upside with the speed that he has
and that offense.
Yep. So I'm good either way. I could go. You could talk me into either one of them. I really flip a coin here if you wanted to.
I don't want to. I have a coin, and I'm not going to flip it. I just don't want ADP to run my life. And when I think about the team-based upside, there's just a hell of a lot more of that in Minnesota. And they cut McBride. I just don't think people haven't processed that. Grab Chandler, please.
Okay, we can go Ty Chandler here.
Yeah. I love Tyjae Spears. Listen, this is not anything against Tyjae Spears. We love him. He's a better fit for that offense. Being exposed to the Titans is not the path to victory this year.
Yep. There's the second quarterback for him. We kind of expected that one, but now the rest of the teams I don't think take one, and we still have Rodgers out there, Pickett's out there, Russell Wilson's out there, Jordan Love, Purdy.
So our running backs, just to summarize for everybody: David Montgomery, Dalvin Cook, Kenneth Gainwell at the 10:04, Algier at the 11:09, and then Chandler at the 12:04. So we've gone in the last 5 picks, 4 out of our 5 picks have been running back. We've been going very running back heavy. I think we could even pause running back now and grab a tight end, perhaps. We only have 1 tight end.
Yeah, tight end is now needed to be looked at again.
Yep.
You could even go elite defense like Philly, who has a cake schedule again this season.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I don't hate that. If you said kicker, I would have told you to pound sand, but the defense I'm into.
Yeah, I mean, they got New England week 1. Minnesota's the hardest match at the beginning of the season, week 2. Tampa Bay week 3. Washington week 4. Rams week 5. Jets week 6.
Bills Jets. And again, I'm closing my eyes. I'm visualizing what's going to happen. I'm seeing a big game from Tyler Conklin at home against the Bills Monday Night Football.
No, it's disgusting.
What?
No.
I don't think
so.
Not Conklin. Okay. Okay. One more. Let me try another one. How about Cowboys at the Giants?
You want Ferguson?
Jake Ferguson.
Ferguson's interesting.
Okay, so I got you to bite on
Gerald Everett's out there still.
He's still out there?
Yeah, Gerald Everett's out there.
Gerald Everett then. I didn't know he was still out there.
Luke Musgrave, who's going to see like 100% of the snaps on the Green Bay. And we have Watson, which opens up the stack with Love as well.
Okay. Wait, what's going on here? This is an FFP. This is tight end premium. Why is
tight ends being pushed in this draft?
What is happening? I mean, I'm not looking at all the screens at once. I can't even. Everett in round 13?
We usually see Musgrave go in round 12 too. I'm surprised to see him on the board still.
All right, Everett was just drafted. Thank God. I'm like, what is happening? Okay, I'm surprised.
I'm surprised the Justin Herbert team didn't take him there. Honestly.
So you want Musgrave then? I'm hearing you want Musgrave.
I like Musgrave.
I love Musgrave.
He's from Bend. Did you know that? He's
from kid. Bend. He's from your town.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. That's all the more reason to grab him.
Yeah.
Jake Ferguson's a little more of like, hey, we know we're going to get production.
But you always looking over your shoulder at the rookie. They drafted Shoemaker early this year.
Shoemaker's not going to be anything.
Maybe at the end of the season.
Because he didn't play. It's so difficult to get acclimated to the league and all the protection calls and all the route running. If you miss a big part of training camp,
tight end, yeah, it takes a long
It's
time.
over. It's over. So I like Ferguson for that reason above all else, but I agree with you. Musgrave, he actually has a higher ADP. I'm still crossing my fingers that somehow, some way, Spears makes it. It's not going to happen. But stranger things have happened.
Stranger things.
And the teams here again, they went running back heavy early, so it's possible. Another running back to consider is Chuba Hubbard.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the zone where we're just painting it, right? We're just painting the board, painting it green, right?
Painting it green. Still a lot of options we can do here on this turn.
The action's slowing down a little bit. I've noticed more milking of clock.
Yeah, they're looking down, they're scrolling down who they need to push up, because we're at that point where there's been so much news and ADP hasn't fully caught up because of the amount of drafts.
That's right.
So we have this kind of unevenness of ADP catching up and players pushing people up faster, and the overall number of drafts have outweighed the push-ups.
I thought Deon Jackson would have gone by now.
He's gone in round 13 the last two drafts I've done, so he'll go this round.
I thought so. Yeah, that's what I expected. I'm so glad, by the way, that we have all our receivers. Look at the receivers that are on the board now. Zay Jones, Jonathan Mingo, Rashee Rice, Tyler Boyd. It's all puke all the way down the board. Jalen Hyatt. Oh, God. I do like Rondale Moore. Down to Rondale Moore. I do like Rondale Moore this year.
Yeah, Rondale's in there. Van Jefferson's in there. There's some plays. It's not someone I'm like comfortable hitting the start button on, though.
Are we trying to go tight end still? Because I'm seeing a bunch of tight ends going off the board now.
Yeah, I think tight end's the pick here. Because I'm fine with any of these running backs coming back.
Okay, and so we got Musgrave, and then what's the second option? Is it Jake Ferguson?
If Musgrave goes, I think we take elite defense, honestly. I would take Philly if Musgrave goes.
Okay, great. Yeah, Philly is unbelievable. Philadelphia's defense is so incredibly talented. It's unfair.
And their schedule is cake again.
And it's an incredible schedule. I mean, they were a great defense last year. And remember who they drafted? Jalen Carter.
Yeah, that's right.
They drafted Jalen Carter, and then they also drafted Nolan Smith.
Yeah, they're gonna have a good defense again.
Yeah.
People are milking the clock today now.
This draft room has grinded to a halt.
Yeah, we were flying. And then it just weep.
The whole draft died.
We went through like 12 rounds in under an hour. And then this last round has been killing the clock. Oh man, please make it back to us.
What is happening?
And we can, yeah, I think we can look at quarterback in rounds 15 based upon our build.
Okay.
I mean, there's still Rodgers, Pickett, Russell Wilson, Carr, Jordan Love, and Purdy out there. I'm good with any of those guys.
I'm good with Pickett. Kenneth Pickett Sr. He's the path to victory. I can't believe we're just sitting here. I can't believe how long we've been waiting to pick. Deon Jackson finally off the board. Thank God.
Let's review the team for the audio listeners. So we're in round 13, folks. We got CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel, Christian Watson, Drake London, David Montgomery, Pat Freiermuth, Dalvin Cook, Sky Moore, Kenneth Gainwell, Tyler Algier, Ty Chandler, and then we get sniped with Luke Musgrave. That's who I wanted. Let's take Philly.
Oh yeah, that feels fine.
We're going to take Philly defense. We're going to recoup here, and we're going to get a quick word from one of our sponsors. Then we get back. We'll see who we take in round 14.
Hey, so many ask me, what's wrong with sports books? Why so many of them fail? The answer is simple. They don't innovate. They're just casino sports books on a phone. That's all they've been. There are a few that are doing a good job. We partner with them. Most of them, not so much. Until Bet Openly came along. Bet Openly said, hey, we're going to innovate. We're going to do something groundbreaking. We're going to have peer-to-peer betting in all states, and you pay 1%. When you win, you pay just 1% on your winnings. You heard that right. It's 1%. With code Underworld, you qualify for just that 1% transaction fee on Bet Openly. It gives you ultimate flexibility to set your own lines and browse lines that others have set. Think about it. That's what betting should be. And now that is the reality. BetOpenly.com. The code is Underworld. Check it out.
All right. We are coming back here. We just finished round 13. Saw Zay Jones go right after we took the Philly defense. Jonathan Mingo, Van Jefferson. There goes Chuba Hubbard, was one of the backs that we were thinking about. Looking at tight ends that are still on the board, we have Irv Smith, Tyler Conklin, Hunter Henry. Hayden Hurst is an interesting one because he's probably going to see all the snaps at the position for the team.
Oh, Ferguson. God damn it.
Yeah, Ferguson we just got sniped with Fergie.
Shit, Billy. I think you game theoried us out of the running on Ferguson. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, because Dallas just went. So we wouldn't have got Phillies. That was a good move. I take it all back.
I think for me here, I'd be fine pushing up Hayden Hurst.
No, what?
He's going to see 100% of the snaps.
Tyler Conklin's the starter. Tyler Conklin,
Hayden Hurst
called him the number 2 receiver.
Oh my God!
In Jets camp. Why don't you like Tyler Conklin?
I don't know. I just don't really like Conklin. I guess that's what it is.
Do you have a reason? Do you have any Conklin at all?
I have some Conklin in best ball. If you want Conklin, I'll take him. He's not starting on this offense. We have Freiermuth, so I'm fine with it if that's who you want.
Or do we just get Pickett?
No, let's push quarterback one more. We can go Conklin. There we go. We're done.
Okay. I like Conklin, man. I think Conklin he's an athlete. He was a literal Viking because he was a Viking, but he looks like a Viking also. He's much better than CJ Uzomah. He's been like incredible. During training camp, there's been, you don't see tight ends getting as much hype. Now, there's a lot of focus and attention on New York, right? Hard Knocks is there. So I understand why Garrett Wilson, there's a lot of hype on a lot of these guys coming out of New York. It's
called the Hard Knocks bump.
It's the Hard Knocks bump. But Conklin has had games with 8 target games. He's demonstrated he can command targets, and Aaron Rodgers likes to feed to tight ends in the red zone. They're going to be in the scoring zone more this year than they have been in years past. Things are lining up. There's really no one behind Garrett Wilson that anyone believes is going to be a target hog. What are we talking about? Alan Lazard.
They have Lazard. The problem is that Rodgers spreads the ball around so much. So he's going to go to Lazard. He's going to give Cobb his 40 targets. He's going to see McCole Hardman. He's going to see, of course, the running backs can both catch. So there's just a lot of different ways that they can go any given game, where I think like Hayden Hurst, like all the receivers are just dusted. Like Adam Thielen is just gone. You have DJ Chark, who's injured, who's not going to be himself for the first 4 or 5 weeks. Mingo's a rookie. So Hurst is probably going to lead the team in targets the first 4 or 5, 6 weeks. And then, yes, they have Sanders who can catch the ball, but I think that whenever you have a rookie quarterback, they lean into the tight end. They lean into the running back they can dump off to, or the slot receiver. So I think Hurst has a lot of upside, in my opinion, this late in the draft, where I think Conklin, I think he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I think his upside's capped.
He was a tight end 16 last year. Did you know that? Conklin? He had 87 targets in back-to-back seasons.
Oh, yeah. It was sneaky targets. Yeah. But they threw the ball like the whole season because they sucked. And we're not going to see, like, Rodgers hasn't thrown.
He's only scored 7 touchdowns in his career. He could have 7 touchdowns this year.
Oh man, I would bet my bankroll he doesn't have 7 touchdowns.
Then what about the big year from Tunyon? What about the big Tunyon year?
That was an anomaly. They didn't have any weapons there. They had nobody.
Any weapons beyond Garrett Wilson.
I mean, McCole Hardman is a shifty player. They can utilize him. Dalvin Cook can catch the ball. Breece Hall can catch the ball. Alan Lazard has been a trusted weapon for Rodgers, even though he's not that great. Cobb is just a friend who gets re-signed and always gets 40 targets. So there's
Tonyan had 11 touchdowns.
Yeah, but look at that roster. That roster was so bad.
It's the 11 touchdown upside. I gave him this 10 touchdowns is his ultimate upside for Tyler Conklin. I think that we're gonna have to revisit this.
We will.
We're gonna have to revisit this. And you wanted Hurst. We'll all remember. You wanted Hurst. I pounded the table for Conklin. I got my guy on the team. Thank you. You were very gracious. I've also got my guy in Ty Chandler.
Because I know he's never going to start for us. So
you know, but if you weight the ADPs, remember, I gave you Drake London.
This guy has 3 quarterbacks. What the fuck is he doing? It's redraft.
Well, at least he took Rodgers over Pickett. Don't worry, man. We always have Ritter. We can always fall back on Ritter. But
Ritter, we have Algier and London.
I was gracious early. You know, I wanted Godwin, and you know what, Billy? God damn it, take your guy, take Drake London.
Yeah, it's a given relationship
here. You get back what you give. You pay it forward.
That's right.
And you said, "Listen, thank you. I recognize you gave me Drake London. Well, let's go.
You can have Conklin.
Let's go Conklin." And this is what a partnership's all about. This is how you are co-manage a team right here, man. Right
and this is how you get exposure to shitty players too. Like you just don't normally take them.
Come on. Oh my God, that's mean. That was mean.
You know, I mean, I would never get exposure to these type of players. So it's like, I got to get him.
I mean, I don't think he's necessarily any worse than, say, Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett's just in a great situation. I think it's a great situation for Conklin. I really do. It's not as much about the player as it is a situation. Same thing with Jake Ferguson. These are situational plays. These guys have enough athleticism. They have enough athleticism. Actually, Conklin's more athletic than Ferguson. Not as athletic as Everett, but Everett's limited.
So I have Conklin projected for, I'm pulling projections. I have him for 72 targets is what I have him for. But if you look at the history of Aaron Rodgers, like the guy just doesn't throw the ball a lot.
That's the problem.
His entire career.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's what the part that scares me is because he's been in the league a long time. Like he was drafted in 2005. Do you want to guess without looking it up how many times he's eclipsed 600 pass attempts since 2005?
Once.
Wild guess. Once. Yep. One time.
Yeah, I can see 1 year they're playing from behind a lot. But yeah, he slows the clock down. His whole thing is he takes the clock down to the final second because he thinks he's smarter than the defense. That's why he does it. And by the way, I understand that he's mellowed out. He's definitely done a great job. Aaron Rodgers has been working on Aaron Rodgers for a long time, and it's paying off. It's paying dividends. I get that, right? He no longer talks to his family because he did not have the best childhood. He did not have the best interpersonal skills coming into the league. We all know that. He was carrying something with him early in his career, treating people badly. And he, at one point, I don't know when it was, 5 years ago, who knows exactly when it was, but he finally decided he was going to change and he was going to do a little more introspection. And he is way cooler and a way better guy now than he was 5 years ago. I will acknowledge that.
That was his darkness retreat in Oregon is what happened.
He's been working on himself for years now. He's been really investing the time. I appreciate him for doing that, and I want to acknowledge that. And he's not the same guy he was. He was a real jackass. He's not that guy anymore. But
wasn't he out there doing peyote or what was the plant he was doing?
But that doesn't mean he plays fast.
No, he does not.
He still plays slow, man.
Very
and
slow.
He still thinks he's the smartest football player on the planet.
Yeah, that's my concern. That
things that are true. He can be a much better person and still have these traits that we can use to help us make decisions, like avoiding Tyler Conklin. Damn it. So running backs I like here, by the way, Evan Hall, Zamir White, There are running backs I like, but we do have to. I think now is the time for Pickett, right?
Yeah, I think we could look at Pickett here.
Please.
Pickett makes sense.
Oh my God, he just went off the board. What?
Okay, that's fine. We'll push it.
Russell Wilson's still out there.
That we don't have any stacks, but I like. I think
What?
Wilson has the highest upside right here.
Wilson is good. What's happening?
We could take Russell. I mean, so the thing is, he finished his quarterback 18 in fantasy points per game last season, and then now he's being drafted outside of that. And that's his lowest of his career.
Well, why don't we could push it again though.
I think we take it in round 16. Let's get one more player here in round 15.
Let's take Hall.
We could take Hull, or we could write the Conklin wrong and take Hurst because he's still there.
Hurst will be there. Hurst is what? Okay, Hurst is. I have to keep scrolling down the board to find Hurst. No, we can't.
Jerome
no,
Ford's
we
there.
By the way, Jordan Love's there. We don't care. I don't care about quarterback. Just
let's push it.
Let's please lock in Evan Hall, please.
Say Evan Hull or Jerome Ford.
Evan Hall, Jerome Ford, or Zamir White.
Yeah, Zamir White I like, but them actually re-signing. Now, I think the kid's talented, but the Raiders are going to do the Raiders thing probably and just run Jacobs.
I think Jerome Ford's interesting here.
Jerome Ford is interesting here. I like Ford and Hull here.
I think we just go. Do you think we can get Hall on the way back?
I think it's a 50-50. It's a coin flip. I say go upside. Let's go with the rookie.
I think Evan Hall's the move.
Yeah, let's go Hull.
Yeah. I like the upside play there. That's the way to go. And then we can go forward again. I think we just push quarterback.
And the fact that he is excelling in pass protection, that's a good sign. Yeah, we can go one more running back here, and then let's let them take all the quarterbacks. I don't even care.
We can get Purdy. We got Love, and we get Purdy, Love, and Ritter. It just so happens we weren't thinking about this at all, but the specific receivers we selected,
we can down and dirty
stone lock best receivers for late round quarterback ever.
Yeah, we can
like late round quarterback, and we're painting it green. Yep.
We got Purdy with Debo. We got Love with Watson. We got Ritter with London and with Algier. There's some options here.
And you don't need to worry about tight end. We have Freiermuth. Don't forget, he's a set it and forget it. Like, he is the firewall. So,
and whoever, it's redraft. There's always tight ends on the waiver wire.
Yeah, Conklin, whoever.
Kate Otten goes undrafted. Trey McBride goes undrafted.
If I am the Jets, though, I am drawing up plays in the red zone for Conklin. I am doing that. There goes Hayden Hurst. Damn it. Sorry about that, man. That
You're okay.
I know that
we're splitting hairs at tight end 22.
Oh, I know that hurt you.
Well, we're fine. Like I said, if we're starting Conklin on bye week for Freiermuth or an injury, and that's the only time we're starting Conklin.
Is this the latest you'll ever see Russell Wilson? I mean, this is so late for Russell Wilson.
Wilson doesn't get drafted early in this format anymore. He just gets pushed down. QB 19 on average. I mean, he's gone in round 20 multiple times in the last week.
But the QB thirst in this room is unlike I've ever seen. I can't believe how many defenses are off the board, how early they went running back, and how many quarterbacks these people are drafting. They're nuts.
This guy in the 4-hole might take 2 more quarterbacks. You never know. He needs to balance out the roster there with the
This is a wild situation. Strikers, man. Strikers 3. What is he? He's got 3 quarterbacks.
He's got more quarterbacks than tight ends. He's got almost as many quarterbacks as he does running backs. It's kind of funny.
It's a fascinating team. This is one of the more fragile wide receiver cores I've seen. His receivers are Metcalf in the 3rd, Hopkins in the 4th, McLaurin and Michael Thomas in the middle rounds, and then Jacoby Myers. I wish him all the best.
All right, let's lock in Jerome Ford. We got them both.
Oh, my God. Hello. That was a great play because I saw Zach Moscow.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that Evan Hull was that they may have been between Moss and Hull, or been just basically shopping for Colts running backs.
Yeah, everyone's just taking the guy that they think could win the job if JT doesn't play all season.
Actually, he went before Evan Hull, but
he went round 14.
Yeah, but that was interesting to see that even though Deon Jackson was named the starter, Zach Moss has been dead for years,
and he's got a broken arm.
Someone's still drafting him like in a round where there's still plenty of upside on the board is very weird.
Isn't it liberating pushing quarterback this much and just saying I'm not giving in to the early quarterback build?
Well, yeah, I mean, you have wild and crazy people. Look at all the double quarterback teams already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams already have 2 quarterbacks.
One guy has 3.
And someone has 3. And then someone also has Mahomes. Another person has Josh Allen. Another person has Hurts.
Yeah,
there's very few teams. I can see the Kirk Cousins team is going to need another quarterback. And then
he might go naked Kirk Cousins. He should. There's no reason to take another quarterback right there. You don't have to.
Well, but he also has because he has Jefferson. He has Cousins and Jefferson. That's amazing. You want that. You want Cousins Jefferson. That guy's Cousins Jefferson out of the 12 hole. That's the only team. That's one of the only teams in the FFPC that has Cousins Jefferson stacked out of the 12 hole. Amazing.
Jefferson went and picked 2. I'm so
look.
confused.
He got him back to back, dude. Cousins Jefferson.
Van Jefferson. I'm like, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Van Jefferson, dog.
Man, I was like, I'm 100% sober. I'm not seeing what he's seeing.
I may or may not be 100% sober right now.
That was actually pretty good. I'm like looking around. I'm like, I'm staring right at Jefferson at the 102.
I don't know. He did the Cousins Jefferson stack. Good for him. Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson.
We're closing in on this thing, man. This is fun. I love the FFPC.
I love
Thank you to the FFPC, man. Just want to say thanks. Everybody there, Alex, everybody, man. They've supported us this year. They've been a big part of what we do. It's been really fun. These tournaments fill. There's big money available. It's thrilling. They've got all these live events happening in Vegas. You're going to be there. It's just awesome.
And the best thing about it, everybody, is if you're drafting here and you finished all your home league drafts and you just have that itch to draft, you can do drafts all the way up until Saturday night at midnight Eastern time at the FFPC. So you can get your final drafts in all the way up until kickoff time. And like I said earlier, you can start the Thursday night game, guys, even after the fact. So you can draft for, just at will and free and not have to worry about, do I get to put in my lineup even though it's after the fact? Yes, you do. So go ahead and fill some more of these all the way up until next weekend. There's a lot of drafts to still fill here at the FFPC.
Rich Billu says Player Profiler is great. You guys have true experts with skin in the game working there. Thank you, Rich. That is true.
A lot of skin in the game.
Billy and Theo have a lot of skin. Lot.
Yeah. Not just talking about my beach spot either. Talking about the amount of drafts we're doing here.
I have a lot of skin in the game in a different way. I have a lot of skin in the game in that I've invested basically very large pieces of my soul into this whole business, number one. And then number two, a lot of my takes are out there publicly ready for Steve Smith to break my orbital bone on.
I can't wait to see what happens to Jonathan Mingo so we can go round 2 with Steve Smith.
Oh man, man, Mingo could be fine. Mingo could be a bust. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Mingo. I really wish that Terrace Marshall didn't have the back injury during training camp and that really hurt him. But we will see. We'll see. This is not going to be a high volume offense. I'm not scared of Jonathan Mingo. I'll tell you that right now. That's not a player I'm scared of. I'm not scared of getting beat by Jonathan Mingo. But I was way out ahead on Quentin Johnston, Jameson Williams. We'll see. I'm feeling very good. If we just have a hit on Rachaad White and a bust on Quentin Johnston, then I can just push myself back from the desk and lean back, you know?
It is like outside of injury, it's hard to imagine a path of no success for Rachaad White this year.
Oh, but what about Sean Tucker?
Yeah, Tucker was good in college, but it's just one of those things that he's not going to play as much as people are hoping for.
They think that number 2 job is potentially very lucrative for Sean Tucker. I love Sean Tucker. I think that the guy came back from a heart condition and he made a roster. He has an all-purpose skill set. Guy had a bunch of catches and was explosive in college. I think it's really cool. But he's a slasher, right? He's that Tevin Coleman, archetype. That guy isn't going to be, a workhorse in the league. He never will be, right? I mean, basically, you've got a player like him in Chase Edmonds, but Chase Edmonds, even more skilled in college coming out than Sean Tucker, a little more explosive, totally electric receiver. Chase Edmonds, people forget Chase Edmonds was awesome for periods, for in glimpses, bursts, flashes in Arizona. And then he just forgot how to hold on to the football in Miami and just kept putting on the ground in the red zone. And then he was out of there like a vaudevillian cane just came through and he's off the screen. It was weird. But yeah, he's still there. Wait, do you think Edmonds caught? No,
I think Edmonds is still involved.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we're ever going to see the back that we were hoping we were going to get out of Edmonds.
No, of course not. No, but I mean, now there's Keyshawn Vaughn has four running backs. I mean, I think they're going to carry 4 running backs.
So we're in round 17. We probably look at quarterback here. We got 2-3 stacks possibility, but the best quarterback on the board is probably Russell Wilson. It has no stack with our offense. Do you want to double tap the position here and go Russell Wilson and then take a stack with either Purdy or Love? Or do we want to go naked here and then take another player? We could go Kyron Williams, who's probably going to be the pass catching down role inside of the Rams. And it's a shit show. Maybe they phase out Akers at the end of the season. We don't know. There's a lot of.
We're going Zamir White.
We could go Zamir White as well.
Yeah, Zamir White. Zamir White will be a workhorse, but also Fournette. But I think Zamir White will be a workhorse. We already have. It's not a. Zamir White's actually more explosive than Tyler Algier. If we love Tyler Algier, right, because he has he's a 1-for-1 handcuff, though there is Cordarrelle Patterson. You could argue that because it's Amir Abdullah is the satellite back, that Zamir White would even have a higher opportunity share if Josh Jacobs misses games than Tyler Algier. I think that's an easy pick. Zamir White's easy for
there goes Jordan Love auto drafted. So I think we get quarterback on the way back here. There goes one of our stacks. We'll see if this guy might double tap.
I don't care as much. I mean, we will get the latest I've ever seen Russell Wilson go in my life.
He's gone around 20 in this format a couple times.
What?
Yeah. Just gets
I
pushed.
didn't see that. That's crazy to me. Okay. Why is that? Is this because Judy?
Judy's hurt. Yeah, there's Javante's hurt. They're coming off injury, but Patrick is of course out for the season. I think he's still a good upside play.
What about Rico Dowdle?
I like Rico.
Yeah, I know. He's a straight. Again, we're talking about 1-for-1 handcuffs, aren't we?
Yeah.
How many teams need a second quarterback?
There's 3 on the left, 4 on the left. I'd say we just take Russell Wilson here, play it safe, and then come back around with either the free look or we could add one more running back and then get our kicker around 20.
You don't want to play with fire a little bit?
We could play with fire. We could go Kyron Williams here. We could go Rico.
I like Rico here.
I think Russ is the safe pick.
I know. I don't want to go Russ. I want to challenge this board. Because we always can fall back on Purdy.
Yeah, the only problem is if Russell Wilson, Carr, and Purdy go, now we're really playing with fire and we're starting Ritter every week. Let's go Russ and see if
flex. This isn't what? Oh wait, we don't have a quarterback yet.
Yep. Let's go Russ and play it safe, and then because we have a shit ton of running backs now.
All right, we'll get Dawdle next.
All right, Russ was the safe player there, and that's the only pick we've done safe the whole draft.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I was like, are you going to draft multiple quarterbacks? Wait,
no.
What?
I mean, we could. But if Russ had gone, then we probably wouldn't need like a Purdy Ritter. We probably wouldn't need a double tab it, but we need to get a kicker. You have to draft a kicker, so we're forced into only one other pick outside the kicker.
All right, so
this draft actually flew. Hour and a half was pretty fast.
No, it's great. Yeah, there was like a weird round and a half where it dragged.
Yeah,
that was
around
it.
13, 14.
What about Fournette?
Oh man, it's a gamble. Yeah, you could. I've backed off him. I was drafting him pretty heavily a month ago, thinking that it was only a matter of time till he signed somewhere. But here we are, and it's week 1, and he hasn't signed. It's a little bit concerning.
Chris Evans
interesting. Probably the third down back. I've been drafting some Evans, not a lot, but I do have some. I like him.
Tight end, Noah Fant.
He was getting steam last year, too.
Noah Fant still out there.
Yeah, I don't think we need
Trey McBride still out there.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of tight ends on the waiver wire in redraft.
Okay. So running back, I'm looking at Dawdle,
Keontae Ingram.
Looking at Ingram, looking at Fournette. I say Dawdle. I'm not going to try to get Dawdle in the last round. I don't want to. I think Dawdle kicker and we ship it.
Yeah. There's one more I threw there that now could create a stack for us, especially given their running back room.
Jaleel
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
Somebody just said it in the chat anyways.
He's interesting, but he's not the 1-for-1 handcuff like Rico Dawdle is.
Yeah, Vaughn's going to play too. But I think that Dawdle has standalone value.
Why did Deuce Vaughn go before Dawdle? Doesn't make any sense. It's been publicly announced that Dawdle is the RB2.
Vaughn's going to be pretty heavily utilized. He's going to see series himself. He has pass catching down role as well. I think that he'll be involved. Derek Carr goes. These guys both go. Why would you? If I'm drafting Josh Allen, I'm never taking a second quarterback. Like if it's best ball, yeah, you have to. But redraft, you don't need to.
Jordan Love got auto draft out from under us.
Yeah, that was painful actually.
That by a team with 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, as a third, he'll probably be dropped. It'll be one of his first drops. That's the thing with these guys who take 3; they never carry 3. Like they always drop them. So it's just such a wasted pick. Like Rodgers will probably be dropped. Love will be dropped. People are going to drop their quarterbacks for the week 1 waivers. You'll see it. You see it every year.
Yeah, so we're definitely not going with another quarterback then.
We took Wilson. We don't have to. Like if we didn't take Wilson and he went on that turn, and then we're taking Purdy, and we probably would maybe take a second one. We'd probably take Ritter just to see what happens between the two of them week 1, and then make a decision for week 2 and then drop one. But I'm comfortable with Wilson there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, my problem with Keontae Ingram is the Cardinals. It's like, okay, you're the starter. Now what? I still hate you. I still hate the team situation.
Yeah, the team situation is Cardinals are going to be bad this year.
There was another quarterback out there we didn't talk about, Bryce Young, Matthew Stafford. There were options. Nothing you like.
No, I would not feel comfortable.
Again, these are look at the game totals. You can't draft these guys in a single quarterback league. You can't do it.
I think I would, if I would have missed on Wilson, Purdy, I would have just gone Ritter.
You have to go Ritter. Yes.
Especially because we have London and we had Algier, and he's got some rushing upside.
Wow, this is really slowing down again.
2 more picks.
It sped up again. It sped up. Let's recap just down the board from the 109. CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, Christian Watson, Drake London, David Montgomery, Pat Freiermuth, Dalvin Cook, Sky Moore, Kenneth Gainwell, Tyler Algier, Ty Chandler. Philadelphia defense, Tyler Conklin, Evan Hull, Jerome Ford, Zamir White, Russell Wilson, and
Rico
Dowdle. Unless you want a kicker there.
No, we'll take the kicker in the last round. And then what
are we looking at for kicker?
I like Dicker the kicker if he makes it.
Okay.
I mean, high-powered offense, going to be kicking in good weather. It's like, I think one of the best kickers in the league this year. The other one is we take the free look and go Riley Patterson. And then if he doesn't do anything Thursday night, we drop him on Sunday morning and we grab a kicker for Sunday slate.
So why don't we just do that?
Because I think Dicker, the kicker, is going to have a lot more points this year.
So the Chargers kicked the least in the red zone. Do you think that was a function of their offensive coordinator or their head coach? Because you think it was an offensive coordinator decision, then with a new offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, they may kick at a similar rate to the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's a thing. They also, I think, there goes Dicker, the kicker. So we don't even need to consider it now. Okay, done deal. Bradley Patterson it is.
That's easy, man. I mean, Detroit's going to have, they're going to kick a lot. Dan Campbell's, he definitely wants to kick the ball.
Yep. And then they get a shootout. I mean, I think the total's 54.5 on Thursday.
Yeah. So, free look. And it's a big game total. Hell yeah.
Big game total. And then if it doesn't pan out, you just drop them. I think Riley Patterson's my most owned kicker. All right, man. That's a good draft.
I'm happy. Thank you.
I like it.
This was fun.
It's a good one. Look at the receivers we got. We got a ton of handcuff running backs. We got some starting caliber running backs as well. In elite defense, late quarterback, but still pays out. I'm liking this team.
I can't believe how far Russell Wilson has fallen. I just think that there's a lack of appreciation for Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims is going to be able to carry the day and help him out. Don't worry about Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I think we can expect a bounce back year from him.
Great draft, my friend.
Very happy with it. I'll be back tomorrow night drafting with a listener that we're giving away. So tune in tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern. We draft in the last Dominator of the season. Take care, folks.
Hey, I want to take a moment to thank you for tuning in. It's important to me that all of our media be free. This is only possible because of you allowing a true independent sports media enterprise to thrive unlike any other in the business. So please subscribe to the All In Package to continue to make all of this possible, to ensure that all of our stats, information, data, content is available to you, especially you, the people that get the site and get the show.